Oh my goodness. Man, welcome to Locker Room Talk with Jitim Young. I'm your boy, Mr. Hall of Fame, Mr. Northwestern Chicago legend, Jitim Young. Another edition of Locker Room Talk. And I got in the locker room. You guys saw him in the movie. My boy, Romeo Travis. Bro, Romeo, man, what's going on?
What's up, Tim, baby? How you been, man?
Man, I'm doing good. We had to play the instrumental to the Forever video that we saw you in. Hello, it's the Martian. But what they told though, and boy,
Yeah,
you a
man.
beast, and you were still on that court. I
Man,
be telling people, my boy Romeo got game.
I was just happy, I was happy to be a part of something special and just do my part. A lot of people didn't have that opportunity to even be on that stage, and I was just happy that I was on that stage and and just hold my own and be a part of something great.
Yeah, I mean, like we saw the movie. You with LeBron when y'all was in high school and everything, and y'all was like rock stars, man. You know, jumping right
He
into
he
it.
he was a rock
Take me
star.
back
He
to
was
that
a
movie.
rock star. No, he
Yeah,
was
hey, yeah,
no he
yeah, he was all over, magazines.
no
LeBron has always been a team guy.
yeah
So
he's
just to
he's
see you, it was cool because I know you. I mean, you were super athletic there. Like, I ended up seeing you play later when we were pros, but you was athletic in high school. Tell me about that time going through that whole time doing your high school year when the cameras was following y'all and everything.
For real, a lot of the times when the camera was following us, the cameraman would just set the camera in the corner where it can catch the whole gym and just walk away. And so like it wouldn't feel like we had the cameras just on us at all times or somebody was following us with a camera. It got to the point where you just didn't even realize it was there. And so we just got comfortable and just started being our regular 1-2, shooting our normal, doing our daily thing. But being on that team was special, man, because Brian made you feel included. Like, he obviously got his special shoes, but if they wanted him to wear a shoe, he want the whole team to wear like y'all, my whole teammates need all this. He was like,
Yeah,
y'all want me to have these fresh sweatsuits, give my whole team the sweatsuits. Y'all want to interview me, interview everybody. And so like
right.
that was like, and that's what he did, and that's what he does. Like, he's always been a team guy, always been a family guy. He's a only child, so he always wanted us around him and just being surrounded with love, and that's what he always did.
You can see that. You can see it now. You see it throughout his career, and even when we first saw that movie, all the way back then, just getting the opportunity like the world know me, but I want you guys to get to know Romeo. I want you guys to know my point guard, and all of you guys just came together. You guys in the city of Akron. What was Akron like during that time when you guys were shooting this video? You got Lil Wayne making music videos that's top of the charts. What was the city of Akron like doing that time?
It's crazy because Akron is a different kind of city, man, because they never experienced nothing like that, so they didn't know how to react. Some people loved us, some people hated us, but it's even more wild that the more we went out of town, the more love we got.
Right.
Because they just didn't know how to handle it. Like,
Yeah.
they just didn't know. Like, some people hated us
Right.
from our own city because we went to a private school instead of a public school. And I
Yeah.
transferred out of a public school to go private. So like they like, oh, y'all turning y'all back on the city, y'all playing for these white people, like, what I mean, stuff like that.
Right.
So it was a different experience, man, because everybody, like, when you think about it, you remember the love, you remember all the adoration, and people really, just want to show you love. But it wasn't like that because everybody didn't show love. If we being honest, like, you know what I mean. A lot of people didn't like us,
Yeah.
but that was in the city. When we would go to Cleveland, man, they would show us so much love because they
Right.
they knew how to show love. And then later on in life, when the movie came out and things like that, people started to show way more love and things like that. But during that time, people wasn't that happy. Man. I'm gonna be honest, because we was running through the city. We didn't lose to the any city team in my 3 years at CMV.
Right. Nah, you make a good point because I end up I was in middle school here in Chicago. I was in a public school, and I was like I was probably the top player coming out of eighth grade in public school, and then I went to a Catholic school for high school. And I can understand like kind of what you're saying about like that respect and that love of, okay, well, hey, how come you ain't go to a public school, but I go to a Catholic school and do my thing. And then I meet Maverick. We at a 5-star basketball camp. Maverick become one of my best friends, and Maverick is telling me like, hey man, it's this dude. I think at the time me and Maverick, we are going into our sophomore year. So he telling me like, man, it's this dude, this kid. He coming to my high school. His name is and for the listeners, Maverick Carter is the person I'm talking about. Maverick Carter, real good friends and business partners with LeBron James. So Maverick and I, we 14, 15 years old, and he like, man, this kid in grammar school. His name LeBron. He gonna be like one of the best players ever. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know what I mean? What in sixth, seventh grade? He said, yeah, man, but he cold. I say, okay, man, that's what's up. Man, come to find out years later, I'm in college. I'm looking at the Chosen one, all those Sports Illustrated. I'm like, this is who Maverick was talking about from his high school.
Mm-hmm.
This is LeBron James and everything like that. And it's you know what I mean? And I can understand like being in the city like Akron, because like in Chicago, okay, you got Kevin Garnett that came here for his senior year. You got Derrick Rose and these guys. And Chicago pretty much, we had Michael Jordan. So
Y'all
Chicago
had
pretty much
Isaiah Thomas. Like y'all had some hoopers. Yeah.
exactly. So for Akron to get something like that, I could kind of see how the first time is like, yo, what's going on here and
Yeah.
everything.
A lot of people didn't know how to. They didn't know how to respond, man. Like they couldn't hate because we was that good, but they couldn't show
Right,
love because we wasn't putting on for the city, so to speak.
right. I understand. I definitely get that. You play basketball, but you look like you play, linebacker for the Chicago Bears, or you know what I mean, the Ravens or something like that. Uh, but like you fell in love with basketball. Like who was like some of your influences? Like how did you fall in love with the game? Who was you watching for you to say, you know what? I don't even want to play football. I want to play basketball because you look like a All American football player.
Man, I was all state in football in high school.
Wow,
Yeah,
man.
and I was never all state in basketball. But I was all state in football. And I
Mhm.
had bigger schools offer me to play football.
Right.
So I chose to play basketball because I didn't. I liked playing football, but I didn't
Right.
like the work that came. Like you know what I mean. Like I didn't like to get better at football. Like I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't. I didn't like the grind part of it. Like lifting weights, that
Mm.
type of run. Like I didn't like that. Like you know what I'm saying. So like I knew
Yeah.
that if I tried to play that in college, that wasn't going to be successful for me because I didn't like it.
Right.
So I fell in love with basketball watching guys like Scottie Pippen, Grant
Right.
Hill, um, Rasheed Wallace,
Yeah. And in
Sean,
your game,
Sean
I can
Kemp,
see
and
that right here, that Scottie Pippen in your game, because you play like that. Like you got that the way you move on the court. You play both ends, two-way player. Yeah, I can see like here the Scotty in your game
like because I when I watched Scottie Pippen, man, like everybody loved Jordan. Like you can't
for sure.
deny how good Jordan was. But when I watched the Bulls play, I watched Scottie Pippen, man, like because he did a little bit of everything. Like he just did a little bit. He can guard, he can bring the ball up, he can shoot, he can defend. Like, and I just wanted to be able to do everything, like, and affect the
Right.
game in more than one way. And so I patterned my game after Scottie Pippen, Grant Hill, Rasheed Wallace, Tim Duncan. And so like those are
Yeah.
the people that I try to emulate and just be like, obviously I never will be as good as any of those guys, but I would try. Like, I would try to just like, yo, that's who I would like to be like. I wanted to have an attitude like Rasheed Wallace. Like, you know what I mean? I wanted to have the technical skills like Tim Duncan, and I wanted to have the do it all skills like Scottie Pippen, athleticism like Sean Kemp. But that's who I watched when I was growing up. I knew I was never going to be a guard. I knew I wasn't ever going to be Jordan.
Yeah.
So I didn't try to be Jordan because I knew that wasn't in the cards for me. So I
Yeah,
just tried to be somebody that I can actually a goal that I can actually obtain.
yeah, and you had that bank shot like Scotty too. I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
man.
I'm
Hey,
down
I
for
used to
you.
watch him all the time, bro. Like I used to, yeah, like I said, people love Jordan, but I used to watch Scotty, man, because that was like he was light skinned like me, like, so I'm like, yo, I could be like him.
Yeah, yeah, the Gino Brown in it. Yeah, for real, man. Man, I'm here with my boy Romeo Travis, man. St. Vincent St. Mary, man. Y'all saw him in a movie, man. We here just talking basketball, and you know, it's funny because like here in Chicago, we've been having conversations of um, why is basketball, especially at the high school level, why is it so different from once we was coming along? And you try to you wrap your head around it, like
I
is it the
mean, once the money,
fundamentals, is it the
no, the
opportunities?
money got involved.
The money
The
got
mo-
involved. Yeah. Okay.
so
Yeah, I want
it's
you to
it,
speak on that.
it's not even about once the money got involved, steps got skipped.
Ah, that makes sense.
Like so,
Steps
like
got
you,
still.
so like when money get involved, I need you to be better quicker. I need you to be
Right.
ready now. So like I can't
No
wait
wait.
on you. Yeah, I can't wait on you to get. I can't teach you the fundamentals because you got to go out there and show out now. Because now
Right.
this AAU program, it's gonna bring me 40, 50, 100 grand this in the summertime. So
Right.
you got to be good in fourth grade. So you got to be forget standing there dribbling in place and knowing how to just handle the ball. Like you got to go between the legs. You got to go behind the back. Like you got to
Right.
show me something. And so like
You
that's
you got to be on ball is life, and you got to be
it
a YouTube station. You got to go viral right away.
right now because that's when the money's coming. The money's out there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like before when we was
Yeah.
playing, it wasn't no like these coaches ain't make no money. Like these coaches they
Nah.
worked a regular job, like then came home and took us to practice. Like you know what I mean? Like and now that I'm grown with my kids, and I'm like, yo, like that was a commitment what they were doing. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I really respect my coaches because they was losing money taking us to tournaments, spending their own bread,
Yeah. I know.
like taking us to
True.
tournaments. Now these coaches making good money running AAU programs and coaching high school basketball. So they skipping steps. Like this is my opinion. Like a lot of the fundamentals
Yeah.
are getting left out. A lot of the best players aren't being held accountable. Like back in when we were younger, if you're not playing defense, you're not playing. You may
Right.
not be the best defender, but you're gonna at least try, right? Like you're gonna at
Yeah.
least give it effort. Like now these guys, like man, he ain't taking me out the game no matter what I do because they need me because I'm
Yeah.
because I'm the draw. And
Yeah.
once they
I'm
realize
the
that,
one who Nike come to see.
yeah, they came to see me, they didn't come to see the rest of these dudes. So you ain't gonna bench me, right? And they
Right.
know that at a young age, like they know that they're needed. And so now it's like, what fundamentals, what respect,
Yeah.
what accountability, like you know what I'm saying? All that stuff goes out the window because there's money involved. And now these coaches,
Yeah.
that everybody trying to climb ladders and trying to get somewhere. They trying to be
Right.
somewhere. I got somewhere to be. I'm trying to get to this. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to do that. And so now, like, they're skipping steps. You're not learning how to
Yeah.
box out. You're not learning how to like slide your feet on defense. And so, like,
Yeah.
I think that's what happened to when the money get involved. They start skipping steps, and the next thing you know, everybody want to be Steph Curry. Everybody want to be Dame Lillard shooting from half court. Like, you know what I mean? Like that ain't
Oh yeah,
like
I
those
see it.
those guys are outliers. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not reality. But
Yeah, and
that's
that's
the
what I
world we
try to
live in.
tell kids that whenever I'm doing player development or I'm working with college kids or especially I like working with middle school kids because I think when you got them at that age where they still impressionable, you can plant those seeds of like, hey, like you said, we not skipping steps. If you want to be good, you want to, you got to be a worker. You got to be willing to pull in the work. You got to have patience with this game. This game is a
Exactly.
marathon. All these people you seeing on these in these magazines and on these internet and stuff like that. And we didn't have internet coming up. You was word of mouth good.
Yeah.
Somebody heard about you all the way in Akron and you from Chicago. They like, yo, this kid good. Jitim Young. Woo woo. They didn't. We didn't have all these things down. I try to tell kids, man, like work on that. And I like I have them play against me. I'm like, if you can't beat me to 5 off 3 dribbles, you ain't a pro. If you ain't putting in 10,000 hours, you not a pro. You know
You
what I
ain't
mean?
there
So
yet, but
these are the things.
they scared. And honestly, with that internet, they scared. You know what I mean? Like they scared
Yeah,
of playing defense. They scared of getting out there and getting embarrassed because that video is gonna be out there forever. Like
right.
I don't like to harp on the past or whatever, but when we played, you play hard. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget
Yeah,
my first. I'm playing against Chris Bosh in the AAU tournament, and the first play of the game, Brian like, hey, I played with him. He got a good post up, but he gonna pump fake and then drive baseline. Don't go for the pump fake. I'm like, all right, all right. Literally, the first play of the game, they come down, he pump fakes. I go for the pump fake. He comes down, dunk on me, and one. Like, dang, I
yeah,
shouldn't have went for the pump fake. But at
right,
that same time, you just play hard. It don't matter who he is, it don't matter where he's from, it don't matter
right.
his his name, whatever. He went to All American camp. I don't care. Like, all right, that's what's
Yeah,
up. Like,
that's cool.
but yeah, like congratulations to him. But I want that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not mad that he got that, but I want that. So now I'm
Yeah,
I'm challenging him. Now when these kids, they look at other people, they see him get all these accolades, they back up like, oh, he the man. I'm scared of him.
right.
Like,
Now I
no,
say to him, he got 100,000 followers on IG and Twitter, so I ain't gonna play him hard. You know what I mean? Like that be
I'm
I be
right.
laughing at that for all the time.
'Cause that's to me like that's backwards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got 100,000. I want those 100,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I don't want his 100. I want my own. Like I'm not hating on him, but I want to be. I want mine too. And you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But they don't have that, in my opinion.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
have that want for themselves. They just kind of look and see like and work like, why is that not me? Instead of saying like, I want to challenge him and I want that to be me.
So I can see what I need to get better at when I go home and work on that. And that's
Exactly.
what I think that's something we did. Like I used to go to camps and like even like with Maverick when we were at 5 star, I used to like have him help me with shooting drills and he had a nice pull-up game. And I used to be like, okay, I went back to Chicago. I was on the playground. I was working on my pull-up because I'm like, yeah, I could drive and I could get to the hole with either hand easily. But Maverick got that pull-up game. Maverick all the way in Akron. So he making me
Hmm.
better. I'm going to these camps. I'm getting stuff, you know what I mean, from Omar Cook or I mean, watching Big Zach Randolph at camps and everything. And I'm like, okay, if I get a little guard, I see how Zach, what he do in the post. Let me work on. Let me give me a post game too, so I can have that in my back pocket. So it's just a lot of things like when we were growing up, how we utilized like the best players in the best competition to get better.
And it's not like, no diss on these young guys because it's a couple dogs out there. It's a couple
Yeah, it
dogs
is.
who won't run from nobody. And so I'm not
Right.
talking about everybody. It's some dogs out there, but I'm just talking about in general. Because I had
Yeah.
nephews and my little cousins, and they like, I don't want to play no defense because I ain't trying to end up on no baller's life tape. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
Right.
And so I ain't talking about everybody. I'm not saying no disrespect to all these young guys who out there who do their thing and hold it down.
Right.
I'm not talking about none of those. I don't want people to be calling me, Rome, you said we ain't this, and this. No, that's not what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
that's
saying
not what
in
you're saying.
general.
You a vet, and we been where these kids is trying to go. And I told the lady the other day, I said, look, if your son just have the accolades that I had coming out of high school, and definitely when I played in the Big Ten, I'm like, y'all will be celebrating throwing parades for this boy right now today if he
Mhm.
just had what I've done. You know what I mean? So all we trying to do is like what Shaq and Charles be telling the NBA players, look, man, we've been great. So to say it ain't like we trying to down y'all.
Hey,
We see
ain't
things
nobody
and we just trying to give our opinion to help better the product.
ain't nobody hating on y'all.
Yeah,
Like that's the biggest thing nobody's hating on y'all, man. I'm happy for y'all. And I tell you, like, I coach high school and I tell them like, yo, you can't make my life better. Like
right.
you can't help, like you're not gonna help me. Like my
Yeah,
life is set. Like, bro, I did what I was gonna do. I played where I was gonna play, and whatever happens after this is gonna happen. You can't help me do that. Like,
yeah,
so like if I tell you something, it's not for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you used to people telling you something from a perspective that's gonna help them. But this ain't for me
right.
because I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to help you.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm
that's
saying?
a
Like,
fact.
and so like that's the biggest issue is a lot of these kids come from areas or where people want something from them, or everybody's trying
Yeah,
to take something
use
from
them and
them
stuff. Yeah,
for something.
that's
Like,
true.
you know what I mean? And I like, and like you got to gain that trust and let them know, like, hey, man, I'm just here to help. I'm here to help you get
Right.
better. Like, if you do this better, how does that help me? It don't. Like, you
Yeah,
know, it literally don't. Like, you know, especially as a fourth or fifth assistant coach, whatever I am on, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like
right.
it's like what are they gonna say? The fifth assistant coach helped you out? Like, no, like you did that. Like
Yeah,
you and
you worked on your game.
yeah, you and the head coach is gonna get it. I'm not a head coach. Like, I'm just here to help. Like, but
Yeah,
a lot of these kids are so used to people trying to get something from them or use them for something. Like, and it's hard. We actually got a kid that's
yes.
going to Illinois from
Oh,
our
we
high
can,
school.
okay, man. Then tell them welcome to Chicago, welcome to the Big Ten, of course. From Big Bro. To
Yeah,
him. Okay,
yeah, he's coming. He's going to Illinois, man. Sincere Harris, cold blooded, man.
sincere.
Yeah, sincere. He gonna come. He gonna do his thing till he
All right,
nice.
Alumni Nation, look out for Sincere Harris. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's
he.
funny because you was talking about that. I was the first thing I was thinking about when you were just kind of talking about like how you just bettering people. I thought about Taylor Horton Tucker when he was at Simeon, and now he's playing with LeBron. And I'm thinking about Io, who just graduated from Illinois. Well, he left Illinois and he now playing with the Bulls and everything. And he like those careers they had. And I think those two guys really exemplify everything you saying. Very coachable guys that were like guys that soaked it up. When you told them, "Hey, look, I'm here to help you." Both of those guys, they come from good families, but they were like players out of Chicago that you were like, okay, I know that these guys, they got the talent to make it, they got the toughness to make it, but they are so coachable that if they're around good basketball, after they leave Simeon and after they leave Morgan Park, that they were going to be pros, and it turned out that way. And I see how Taylor Horton Tucker, how when he plays with LeBron, I could kind of see the mentorship and the way you react. And I'm watching Io. I saw him lead when he was at Illinois, exactly what Sincere is going to do. But I see him with DeMar DeRozan, with Lonzo Ball, with Zach Levine doing the timeouts on the court when they talking, and you can see like he wasn't just like this as a pro. He was like that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that? And what would you say to these kids who trying to get a D1 scholarship or just trying to go play college ball, or if they're in college and they're trying to become a pro? What would you say to them about what's some advice, Romeo Travis, who's been there, who's been on the big stage? What is some advice that you would give these kids?
I would tell him. First, I would tell him find your skill set. Like find what you're good at. Like you know what I mean. Like because a lot of people they just be doing stuff out there. Like doing
Right,
like like they see some stuff. They like everything ain't for everybody.
right,
And that's no disrespect to anybody. Like I refer to myself more than anything because I can talk about me. Like you know what I mean. Like I didn't shoot a lot of threes. Like I could have, but I didn't because I shot 29, 30% from three, but I shot 60% from two.
mm-hmm,
So I'm like, yo, I'm not a great 3-point shooter. I take two steps in. This joint almost automatic.
right,
And so that was just me. Like, I found something that worked for me and I just grinded and built on that. Like, and I think that people need to find something that they're good at and make it their niche. Like if you're a good 3-point shooter, become a great 3-point shooter. If you're a good defender, become a great defender and any other skill set. And then you can build from there. Like, right. If you have a great 3-point shot, then you can build on your pump fakes and your hesitations and all that other stuff like a Steph Curry. Or if you get to the rim well, you can work on your jump shot after you know how to get to the rim and finish with both hands, different kind of finishes, floaters, jellies, all this other stuff. But it's just when you find out what you're good at, then you can build around it, right? But if you don't know what you're good at, you'll never be able to build your game around that because you're just going to be trying to just throw darts at the board and hope it sticks. But if you
right.
find out what you're good at, then you can really build that out and become a great player.
And I think that's something. I think you right when you talk about yourself, because that's something you exemplify when you think about your professional career. Like when you kind of reflect and look back on it, what are some things that you're proud of being a professional basketball player?
Man, coming from being on government assistant welfare, living in the projects, to having my jersey retired at my university, to being a
Where you go to
final
college?
University of Akron.
Akron. Yep,
U-
University of Akron. Yeah,
University of Akron. The first time I left Akron, I went to Spain. So like
okay.
I lived in Akron my whole life, and then I moved, then I moved to Spain. Um, so, but I was Finals MVP in 2018. We won the championship on the road. So, and more importantly, I always been known as a great teammate. Being a captain
Yeah,
like being a captain of a team in a different country, like that says a lot about the person you are.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
they chose me to be a captain of a team of foreigners. Like I'm a foreigner in their land, and they chose me to lead that team. Like that
Right.
is one of the biggest things that means something to me. I did a lot of good stuff on the court. You know, MVP. I won MVP awards, first team All Star games, whatever, whatever, whatever. But all that's cool. I mean, I'm not never gonna say that stuff when I enjoyed all that too. But just
Right.
for them to vote for me to be the captain of a team in a foreign
It's
land means a
big.
lot. Like that really, means that's always going to be something that I hang my hat on because it's not only the players, it's the coaches as well that hold me in a high regard and show me
And it's
respect.
the
So
country too, because the
yeah,
country, a lot of times these teams make decisions about like, well, who is he in the public, who is he when he's around, and I just know when we were in Israel together, you were always like the greatest person to talk to and to be around and to laugh with, and you felt comfortable. And I know, you was talking about that same comfort that LeBron gave you when you was around. You made sure everybody that was around you was comfortable. You know what I mean? And we weren't even teammates, but you still made it like, man, you know what? Man, we here, man. Like, man, you home, you family, and I can see your teammates saying, "Hey, he definitely this is our leader right here."
and that's all I wanted to do is be a good teammate, man. And it's been times where like it's hard to be a good teammate when you're a pro, right?
Yeah,
Because it's like guys, we all making different amount of money. We all trying to, keep climbing this ladder to be the best
yeah,
pro we can be. But at the same
absolutely,
time, it's like we in this together.
right.
Like, but that's the hard part about being a pro. Is like it's not like college where we all got a scholarship and we all
Yeah,
just and coach decides who's the best player or
mm-hmm,
coach decides who gets what shots. Like overseas, like we all just trying to eat together. We all just trying to
right.
live and figure out how we gonna get this bread. Like
Yeah,
and it's hard, right? Because like I've
yeah,
been in situations where people who I felt like I was better than, they're playing and I'm not.
right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like they getting shot attempts and I'm not, and I got to sit there and clap for this man. We play the
Yeah,
same position. I feel like I'm better than you, but at the same time, like you can't be that person because if you become that person, then it's going to be a stain that it's going to be hard to get off.
and that karma or something like
Yeah,
we
it's
come
going to
from a
come back.
humble background of this game of basketball where we had to earn it, and we had to before we became who we became, we had to watch and sit back and wait our turn, and that karma just got a way of saying, let me put you in this position to see what you're gonna do, see if you change, see if you remember your roots,
I
and when you
always,
show like I'm still that guy. And next thing you know, you in a position where you getting blessed beyond measures. You know what I mean? So I
man,
feel exactly what you say about that when you talk about like sitting down and you better than somebody, but hey, you still got to have that good character, them good morals, and clap and respect the game.
and luckily, and I did that, and then I was able to leave that team and go to a different team, and we went to the championship that year. If I would have
Right,
had a bad attitude or did whatever, then the owner or the GM could have did me wrong. But I
right,
kept a good attitude and I did what I was supposed to do, and they let me leave, and I ended up going to a different team, and we went to the championship that year. We lost in the last game, but I could have been sitting there rotting on the bench or at home for that matter.
right. Yeah.
So my good attitude and being a good person like that helped me a lot because that helped me get contracts. That helped people remember my name. That helped that when people speak of me, they're like, oh, well, we love Romeo. Yeah, let's
Hey,
sign him.
that's a fact. I know. I've seen you live in person. Man, we coming on down, man. I could talk to you forever, but man, let's get into these NFL playoffs, man. Hey, man, Lamar Jackson, my favorite player, Baltimore. I don't know how healthy he is. Uh, I feel in the NFC, I don't see anybody beating Brady. I don't see anybody beating Brady at all. The AFC is up for grabs. You in Cleveland, Baker Mayfield. You either like him or love him. You got Josh Allen. The AFC is just, I don't know,
The
man. Flip a
AFC open,
coin.
man. The AFC is
It's
open.
so open. I
But
don't know,
I
man.
gotta
But
I gotta walk you back on that Tom Brady, man. They gonna lose.
to
So
who?
so
You
they
know,
gonna
all of them healthy, right? Except for Godwin. They bring in
so
everybody is gonna be ready in 3 weeks.
so first of all, they're not the same team they were last year. They're not getting the pressure on the quarterback, and they're not protecting Tom Brady like they were last year. So
Okay.
let's get that out there. And they're not as healthy as they're going to be because coming off football is a rhythm game. You can't just
Right.
be sitting. You can't be injured for 3 weeks, come back and think you're going to be the same timing, rhythm, all that. So
Right.
first, with that being said, the Packers are
But
coming out
hold
of the
on.
NFC.
Who gonna beat him in a one and done situation? Because you got
No,
the boy
the,
Kyler
the
Murray, Aaron, and the boy Matthew Stafford that was in Detroit.
the Saints just no. The Saints held them to 0 points, bro.
The Saints got
Mm,
his number. You can't. It's just
They got
I
his
don't know
number
what
on
it is about
speed
the
dial.
Saints.
They got his number on speed dial. But I believe that the Tom Brady and them is done for the year. They're not the same team that they were, man. They don't have the same firepower defensively, and their corners are decimated. And then you can score
Right.
like before you couldn't score on them. It was hard to beat them. They had good pressure, on the quarterback. They was getting to that ball,
Yeah.
and
White.
now yeah, it ain't they're not the same, and they're not getting that same pressure on the ball. I mean, I'm a Packers fan. I've been a Packers fan since '97.
Yeah.
I believe that
A-Run.
this. Yeah, I think Aaron, this is going to be our year. Especially with everything that happened. I think
I
that
hate to
adversity.
disappoint you, bro. Aaron Rodgers finna get his ass sent home. And boy, when the GOAT, when the playoffs start, I don't know what it is about playoffs and whatever spark will come out the air and hit a Tom Brady team and him. Man, Aaron Rodgers is gonna do what Aaron Rodgers. Now, if you say Dallas,
No, I don't believe in Dallas, man. I
you
checked
don't
the
believe
schedule.
in Dallas?
No, I watched the schedule, man. They got one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, bro.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They playing in the NFC least. All them teams is trash in the NFC. So so every one of those teams is bad. The Eagles is formidable, but they be pounding them too.
yeah.
So I don't believe in Dallas, and
Well,
they
it's
don't
gonna
have
come
a.
down to the Eagles and Minnesota. I mean,
But
Green Bay got Minnesota for a big game, so we'll
in
see
the
like all these
Minnesota
games when the
Minnesota be
crap
having
first.
our number, so they always
Yeah,
play us tough, and it's going to be
they do.
interesting to see who finished strong and and how everybody finished. But I think Dallas. Nobody's scared of Dallas. Nobody's scared to go into
That's
Jerry World.
true. That is so true. Dallas
That's
don't
like
make you film though.
no, that's like they going on vacation. We about to go down here to this nice arena, everything clean, nice. It's like going
Hotel, 5-star suite.
right there next to it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to
Yeah,
worry about nothing. Like they go down there and they go down.
and
When you
clown.
go when you on the road, you're supposed to be uncomfortable,
That's
right?
true.
So
Pink
that when
locker rooms and stuff like
yeah,
that.
you're supposed to be
Yeah,
uncomfortable. They go down there, they is comfortable. Like they at their relatives' house.
man. So what about the AFC? I'm
The
gonna
AFC,
I'm gonna just say Baltimore. I'm gonna say Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna say this is year he gonna come out.
no man. I'm going with the Colts.
Ooh,
I
I,
like the Colts,
that boy
man.
Taylor.
He is
I
going
told everybody
crazy.
when he was at Wisconsin, I said, "Hey, I know I'm Big Ten biased and I love, but I'm like, man, something about this boy Jonathan Taylor. He the best running back in all of college football, and I don't know why he went so late in the draft. I'm
Man, running backs
like not
undervalued.
watch. It's just certain players like when Lamar Jackson came out. I said he the best quarterback in the whole. I'm like, look, I'm watching football just as a person that just love the game and everything like that. But y'all GMs, y'all make money to evaluate and bring people. Y'all couldn't see what I seen
They make it too hard.
7, 8 years ago.
They make it too hard, bro. Like they making it way too hard. He is better than him. Period. Like Baker went first that year.
Yeah, and then
He's
the
better. Like
other the little scrubs that they got playing that you don't even hear about them no more. Sam Darnold. I'm like, how y'all
yeah,
pick him
Josh
before Lamar
Rosen.
Jackson? Lamar,
I
I'm like,
mean,
this Lamar Jackson, he's the Heisman. I've seen this man, what he did in big games with. He was at Louisville. He didn't have Alabama recruits, and he was killing the world. I'm like, y'all get paid to know that.
they
I
don't.
just
But they don't
believe
think
it.
they make it too hard.
Dang,
He's not a pocket quarterback. He doesn't throw. He throws unorthodox, like all the stuff that don't matter.
that don't
But
matter.
but he gets it done. Like
He's a
like,
winner.
that's it. He getting it done with
Yeah,
less.
with nothing. He don't got no number one receiver, no Julio or nothing like that. And
He
he
getting
beating
it
all
done
these
with
other teams.
less. That's what that's
But I like that Taylor pick though. I
yeah,
like,
I like
as
the
long as
coach,
Carson
man.
Wentz get out of Taylor way, yeah,
And don't no mistakes. We no big mistakes, man. If
yeah, that's a good pick.
he don't do no big mistakes, they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, and they on fire. You talk about momentum. They
Man,
they burning up. They like the Phoenix coming on Earth from X Men. She's just burning up
man.
the world right now. The coach is on fire. You know,
Yeah, man. And they got a good defense too. They in a good rhythm too.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think Lamar Jackson he hurt his ankle. They said he practiced and then he couldn't practice. So I don't even know if he gonna go this week. And I know Cleveland got Seattle. I'm not Seattle, excuse me, the Steelers. So
Yeah,
that's a big
on
game.
Monday. Yeah, Cleveland got to win out for them to have a chance to get in.
Okay, so if the Steelers beat Cleveland,
They done.
and then I think do they play before the Ravens or after the Ravens play?
They play after they play Monday Night Football.
Oh, okay. So because I'm gonna say because maybe if the Steelers win, then Lamar just say, I don't, if we lose, it don't even matter because we still in the same position. But
Yeah, but they say he in a walking boot, so I don't think he gonna play.
yeah, well, if he don't play, then it's all my bets off, especially if
Yeah,
he 100%. Yeah.
yeah, he in a walking boot, so I ain't sure he gonna play.
But I got terrific Tom and definitely coming out the NFC. So
Nah,
I
man, you tripping. Agree to disagree.
hey, you in Ohio, we got your boy Justin Fields out here in a Bears uniform. How does the fans from where you at, are they still rocking with Justin Fields? Do they still
Oh
love
yeah,
got love for him?
all Ohio State fans, man, they love all the Ohio State guys. Even no matter where they play at. Like, they really love Ohio State. Like, and so like any Ohio State guy that goes wherever, they still got love for him and they want to see him do well. Like, you know what I mean?
What do
Except
you
when they
think
play.
Nagy got to do to help him like have a good career as a Bear? You know what I mean? Because I think he
Yeah,
got it. But what do you feel when you watch him play with the Chicago Bears?
they need a O line. Their
Okay,
line, they got possibly one of the worst offensive lines in football.
in the world,
Man,
St.
because they
Vincent St. Mary line better than the Bears line.
because the pressures that he's under, and they need to shorten the playbook, and they need to get him a playmaker on the outside. Allen Robinson was supposed to be that guy, but he's been injured all year,
Right.
and so he needs a playmaker on the outside, a good offensive line, and a run game. Because if you look at guys like who's having successful years, the guys like Mac Jones and Tua down in Miami,
Mhm.
they have great running games, offensive lines, and they got a short passing game, and they got explosive receivers. Well, Patriots don't have explosive receivers; they just got a short passing game, and they help Mac out a lot because the defense is so good and a good
Right.
offensive line. So they need to shore up that offensive line first. The defense always been solid for Chicago, but if they need to get a running game with that offensive line, and that would take a lot of pressure off of him because once he get down 10, he got to throw. And with
Right.
with the with that line and knowing he got to throw on second and third down every single time, they just pinning their ears back and just going crazy.
He's just going for him.
And then
Yeah.
he gotta humble himself too, because I heard him say the NFL is slow. Like in the preseason, he said that,
Yeah.
but he was playing against third string guys, But now, like, when you got some cracked ribs and you get your head bust, it ain't that slow
Yeah.
no more, is it? Like, so I think he
Nah.
got to humble himself a little bit as well.
Surprises in the NBA. My favorite two players right now, Steph Curry, Ja Morant. Ja Morant is the truth.
He
Um,
going crazy.
yeah.
He going
I mean, I knew I felt the Bulls was gonna be I didn't know they was gonna be that good. Uh, I
Cleveland.
mean, they one of the top five teams in the league. What else is a surprise for me? So Ja Morant, I mean, Steph is doing what I said that Golden State was going to be this year, and I'm happy to see that. But to me, John Moran is like the Lamar Jackson of basketball, if that makes sense with what he doing, with the way he playing and winning. Um, what about you? What's your surprises in the NBA?
Cleveland, man.
Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, the Cavs are really rolling. They doing their thing. I didn't expect them to be this good this soon.
Sexton and Garland came out the gate going
Going,
crazy.
man, going bananas. Then when Ricky Rubio just got hurt, though, that's going to set them down a little bit. But I still like Cleveland a lot.
They
Um,
got all that size too. They going like three
yeah,
7-footers. You got the old boy
yeah,
marketing that was with us in the Bulls, and he going crazy too out there.
yeah. They got marketing. They got the Evan Mobley, and then they got Jared
Mobley,
Allen, and so they
USC.
playing
Yeah.
those three together. Then you got to
Ooh,
look at, and biggest surprise is how bad the Lakers are playing. Like that's another big surprise.
yeah.
So
I forgot all about that. Like, yeah, man, you just people blaming Russ and talking about what Russ need to do better. I want to see when Anthony Davis get healthy, what type of team they're gonna be. Like, how does Taylor Horton Tucker fit with that chemistry? I think last year he knew exactly this is my role. This is what you want me to do. And I think now with Russ being on the ball so much, it's like he's trying to figure out um, what his role is to help Bron. Bron is being Bron. He just killing everything. But I just got to see. I got to see Anthony Davis when he come back because right now I'm
yeah,
not impressed with what he doing. But yeah, that is a surprise. Like the Lakers, where the Lakers is right now.
yeah, those are my two biggest surprise, and actually the Bulls, like you said, the way they're playing, man, and the way I think they got a chance to win the championship with
Yeah,
moving Demar to the four was a genius idea, especially the way the game is now.
and they deep. They like they
But at the
10
same
deep,
time, ain't nobody posting him up, and ain't nobody exploiting that matchup. So
and they
it's
going.
been a win-win for
They
them.
got they looking like the Derrick Rose Bulls when they had like two starting five when they had to think of the benchmark. They got that again.
Say that again for me.
They basically got two starting fives, like playing in Chicago. But Giannis, man, come on, man. He's showing people. We just won.
Um,
Y'all gotta pry the championship from my fingers, man. That boy Giannis is unlocked, bro. He's unlocked for real. Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, man, I will. Hey, Romeo, man, man, happy New Year to you, man. Man, enjoy the time with your family, man. Thanks for jumping into the locker room, and thanks for hollering at me today, brother. All right, man. We had Romeo Travis um, in the locker room with me. Romeo Travis, LeBron James's teammate from St. Vincent St. Mary. We got to talk the movie soundtrack. We got to talk his high school years. We got to talk professional basketball, him playing, him as a coach. And, we finished up with some NFL talk and we finished up with some NBA talk. Um, you know, it's so cool to have friends and former basketball players and this fraternity and this brotherhood and even with the ladies that we have playing this game, the relationships you build throughout this game. So Man, again, shout out to my brother Romeo Travers, Akron, Ohio's finest. This is Locker Room Talk with Jitim Young. I'm your boy, I'm your host. Jitim Young, Mr. Wildcat, Mr. Northwestern, Chicago legend, Mr. Hall of Fame. Big Ten great, Jitim Young. Make sure you check me out with Let's Talk About a Shy with the guys. You can follow us on iHeart Radio. Let's Talk About It Shy. This is Locker Room Talk with Jitim Young. Whatever you do it to the best of your ability. All right. Always believe in yourself. Never give up. Have faith. Okay. Um, Happy New Year's. Happy holidays. I hope everybody have a prosperous and a successful 2022. God bless you.